Hey guys, and welcome to Car Guy 1999 Reviews. Today we have the 2022 Ford Bronco. This is the base trim level, but it has the 7-speed manual, which is really a 6-speed. We'll get into that in a second. This is all courtesy of Infinity of Nashua in Nashua, New Hampshire. I'll include a link to this car in the description below. But absolutely awesome truck. Plenty of room in the back. Obviously this opens up just like a Wrangler, and obviously throughout the video we're going to be making comparisons to the Wrangler. It's really the closest comparison we have. Do have a little Bronco logo back here. Oops, this needs to shut first. I'm a moron. Boop. Obviously, spare tire, backup camera, Bronco logos everywhere. This thing is so darn cool. Love the vintage Bronco logo. Now you'll notice, why are the mirrors up here? Well, just like the Wrangler, you can take the doors off and you would still have a mirror, because the Wrangler, I think the mirrors are mounted on the door. So they did that to give you the ability to still have mirrors. Check out this front. Oh, it's absolutely awesome. Such a cool look. To have some tie downs here. Really cool. You can remove the roof. However, I don't know if you can do it with the roof rails in place. I tried last night and I couldn't get the top panel off. That is a massive door. First of all, you do have back seats. I have them pushed down. All of your switch gear has the little Broncos, which is pretty darn cool. You have Bronco here on like the pistol grip style. Let's see here. Obviously you can get a V6 in the Bronco, so let's see how much room the 2.3 leaves us. Good amount of room. Obviously your air intake is going to be up high. 2.3 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder, 275 horsepower. I want to say it's either 310 or 311 pound-feet of torque, routed through that 7-speed manual or the 10-speed auto. The V6 versions are only 10-speed autos. Only way to get the manual is to go with the 4-cylinder. Take a look at this plaque here. Designed and engineered in Dearborn, Michigan. You notice that these are headlights? So the way they designed that, it looks like the headlights and grille of the Bronco. I just noticed that. All of your mirror controls, everything like that, is going to be right here. Window controls are here, so that way if the doors are off, you can still operate the windows. Make that joke every time I review a Wrangler. And it's going to continue here. Roof panels do have some sound deadening to them, which is really nice. Everything is easily labeled. Do have side airbags here, which is something I don't even think the Wrangler has. That is pretty darn cool. Sunglasses holder. You'll notice windshield set a pretty good ways away. Couple little storage compartments up here, pretty darn cool. Hazards, traction control, everything has a very nice feel to it, a rugged feel, I should say. Being a base model, this isn't focused on luxury. I don't think really any Bronco is. But let's take a look here. Goat goes over any terrain. Goat modes. Let's see what we have. We have sport, eco, normal, slippery, sand. It's not bad. Go into sport. What's nice is when you start the car up, it asks you if you want to return to the drive mode you were driving in last, which is pretty darn cool. It won't remember it instantly, where it would just, you start it up, it starts up in sport mode, but it's going to ask you if you want to return to that drive mode. So that is pretty darn cool. I was like, there's one other. So the traction control is a little Bronco. Air recirc is a Bronco. So all of the switchgear here, one thing you'll notice, there isn't a Ford logo in sight. Bronco, they kind of spun off as their own brand. Pretty darn cool. So let's get into this 7-speed manual. I mean, technically it's an 8-speed if you start counting different gears. So you have 4 high and 4 low, obviously, being a off-road focused vehicle. But you're also going to have the crawl gear. So it's a very, very short ratio that's designed for just crawling up rocks. And then you can go first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Actually, a really, really nice gearbox to use. I've had no real complaints with it. Clutch is easy to modulate. And we'll get into this, I guess, now. It is almost too easy to drive. So let's say you stall it. All you gotta do, put the clutch back in, it automatically starts itself back up. In crawl mode, if you stall it, you're being kind of stupid. First gear, you'll notice as I start to release the clutch, revs itself up once you get to the bite point, and just set off like normal. So in first gear, idle's gonna get you to cruise at about 4 miles an hour. Let's go into crawl. We're at about half that, 2 miles an hour. So obviously, you're at 3,000 RPM at 10 miles an hour. And for the first time in my life, I'm going to upshift into first gear. In terms of road noise, these tires are a little bit chopped. If we keep this, we're likely going to replace those tires. I'm going to force the shop to put all terrains back on it because they'll put little all seasons on it, and I'll be kind of upset about that. So that's the road noise. It's not nearly as bad as you might think once these tires get replaced. I do wonder though, in 4 low, how ridiculous is the crawl gear? I do like the concept of having a dedicated crawl gear, because if you need to really use 4 low or a very low ratio to get out of a situation, it's nice to not have to stop, put it into 4 low and get yourself out. Just put it in crawl gear and it'll set you off. Works out great. We'll say this engine is definitely boosted by gear. First gear, you do not get full boost out of it. So watching the gauges, I've seen it go all the way up to 20 psi, so it kind of fluctuates. But first gear, I've never seen exceed 15 psi. And you can feel when you shift into second, it gives you a couple more psi. What I love about the Bronco, and I love it more than the Wrangler, even though the newer version's slightly better, is it's actually pleasurable to drive. Yes, the 392 Wrangler's the thing, and I gotta try a Bronco Raptor to really compare 392 Wrangler to this. But I don't know, it's just, I could daily drive this and be perfectly happy. I've spent a lot of time in different Wranglers, and it always, they just kind of beat you up. This one, and when you try to drive a Wrangler in a sporty manner, it definitely doesn't like it. This one actually is a pretty playful little truck, SUV, truck. Like I said, this gearbox is really good compared to what I thought it was going to be. It is a little rubbery, but it has enough feedback to make you really okay with using it. The 2.3 is a good motor for this. Lots of torque, and that's really what you're going to need. I find myself shifting at 4,500 RPM even when I'm pushing it, just because there's a lot of low down torque and I don't really need to wring this thing out to have the power I need. In terms of the sound system, being a bass Bronco, very basic sound system, but it does sound good. I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, oh, the sound system's probably going to be awful. No, it's pretty good. Visibility is phenomenal. I genuinely, if it was my money, I'd buy one of these over a Wrangler. They both have their certain characteristics that people like more, but I've always said I'm more of a Bronco person after driving them. They're definitely less common. Obviously, you compare model year to model year, they're probably going to be closer. But if you think about how long the Bronco's been gone versus how many years the Wrangler's been made, you're going to see a lot more Wranglers than you are Broncos. So I'm trying to be, what is it called? Objectionary or whatever. Unopinionated based on the rareness of the Bronco compared to the Wrangler. But I can't really ignore it, just because there's been so many Wranglers made in the time the Bronco's been gone that everybody and their mother has a Wrangler. So just buying a Bronco sets you apart from those people, and I genuinely think as an overall package, it's just the better choice. I genuinely think so. So let's go into 4 low. All right, current drive mode, can't have 4 low, that's fine. Go into sand, 4x shift and process. For 4L, press clutch. Okay. So we're doing 2 mile an hour in first. We have a crawl gear. I am clutch out right now. We are doing 1 mile an hour. That, okay, I see the point of it now. Because I'm on the brake, providing some resistance. And it's just pretty darn impressive. Too high. Alright. Fine. Sport. Exit 4L, press clutch. Advanced track on. We're in too high. Like that, you don't have to go, well, you sort of do, but it just goes right into 4 low. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. See you all in the next one.